Okay, so I'm just going to continue this stuff. And we're going to get on to Generation 1. So this is Lesson 2. So I should probably change the title. I should probably end this stream and start over, but I don't want to. So, Lesson 2 is about Generation 1. And the very first Pokemon games to ever come out were Red, Blue, Green, and Yellow. They took place in a land called the Kanto region, whose lead professor was Professor Oak. Little fun note, each town in Kanto is named after a color, with the exception of Pallet Town, which is where your journey starts in Kanto. There are a total of 151 Pokemon in Gen 1, along with only 15 types. And the special attack and special defense stats were originally just one stat, and it was just called the special stat. So, typing in Gen 1. So like I said, there were 15 different types. I love Cyndaquil, he's my favorite starter. I love Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil's so precious. So, I'm sorry, I need to pay attention. Go get Starbucks, then you basic. Oh, rude. Sir. We are not calling people basic in this chat. I'm sorry, no. But yes, I love Cyndaquil as well. So like I said, typing in Gen 1. There were 15 different types, and they were separated between physical and special. So, physical moves. My monkey. We're not fighting. No Pokemon battles in the chat until next time. Until I live stream. Until I live stream gameplays, people. Thank you very much. So, anyways. I'm sorry, y'all are making me happy in the comments. I will admit, I might sound unhappy, but no, y'all are making me so happy in the comments. So, anyways, typing in Gen 1. Some moves, some types were physical, while some types were special. And the special split, which means some moves... I'm trying to think of how to describe the special split. The special split happened in Gen 4, which is when moves weren't just physical or special based on their type. It's also where Pokemon didn't make sense to me, because they said only Eevee can have special evolutions. Well then why is Dark type mostly physical moves now? You can make more evolutions, thank you. So, starters in Gen 1. There is Bulbasaur, best boy in Gen 1. And Bulbasaur was not only part grass, it was also part poison, which is a detail we will discuss later. There was Charmander, the fire starter, and Squirtle, the water starter. Now, physical means direct touch, and special means far touch. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Okay. Bulbasaur is the grass starter. Kanto is the only starter that's a dual type in Gen 1. It is also the second largest Pokemon to date. Starter Pokemon to date. Oh my goodness, a giant... Oh lord. Okay, it's the second largest starter Pokemon to date. I believe first is Chikorita. And it's only because it has a leaf. Squirtle, but honestly... No. But I honestly love all the Kanto starters. Y'all. And Bulbasaur was originally blue, and it's only grass starter that was blue. And then this is Bulbasaur's evolutionary line. So, Bulbasaur at level 16 evolves into Ivysaur, and Ivysaur at level 32 evolves into Venusaur. Here are their stats, and I'll probably just put these up later. And then Charmander. Charmander is the first starter Pokemon Kanto. Is arguably, probably not the most popular, but definitely one of the most well-known starters. So, in his final evolution, Charizard is Satoshi Tajiri's all-time favorite Pokemon. Satoshi Tajiri, like I said in the last lesson, is the guy who made Pokemon. So, yeah, there's a reason Charizard keeps appearing in other games, even though some games don't allow previous evolutions, which sucks. Or just previous generations. So, Charmander evolves into Charmeleon at 16, and then Charmeleon evolves into Charizard at 36. Which is, yeah, also part, and it's also a dual type, so it's fire and flying. I know my head's in the way, so I'm sorry. Charmeleon, here are Charmeleon's stats. Here's Charizard's stats. It's very fast. Fast boy. Fast of F boy! Okay, let me see this. Okay. Let me think. Charizard is made after the dragon. Yes, that's true. Let me see the comments. Razor Leaf, go! How dare you? Got a big fork. Are we really insulting each other in chat? Okay. So, Squirtle is the water starter in Gen 1, and Kanto in its final evolution, Blastoise, is statistically, in Gen 1 specifically, the best starter. So, Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise are statistically the best starter Pokemon in Gen 1. Because if you look at the stats and things and gameplay and whatnot, it's technically the best one. He stands for the E for everyone. So, Blastoise is also the only fully evolved starter that's a single type. So, and I guess Venusaur is the only one that evolves at 32. Or Ivysaur. Because Squirtle, they all evolve at 16, all the starters. And then they evolve again, mostly at 36, with the exception of Venusaur, who evolves at 32. I have more Pokemon for that. No! Okay, and then Wartortle stats. And Blastoise stats. He a tank. Okay. So, though there are a total of 4 games in Gen 1, only 3 came out in America and Japan. So, Japan did not get blue, they got green. We got blue, but not green. The yellow was referred to as the special edition because it was a special in comparison to the other 3 games. Why? Because your starter was Pikachu. You didn't get no choice. Okay, wait, Narcissus said you need to go outside and play Go. Y'all. Narcissus said you need to touch grass. So, yeah, I need to play Go more. But anyways. Let me see. So, Yellow actually came out after Red, Blue, and Green. The only reason Yellow came out was because fans complained that the sprites in Red and Blue looked nothing like they did in the anime. Let me see. Yellow has sprites that look more like they did in the anime because people complained. Just can't get into them because I've tried but can't too much more than how. Yeah. Anyways. So, their sprites in Yellow looked more like they did in the anime, and the characters and the scenarios that didn't, along with characters and scenarios that didn't appear in the other 3 games. So, your starter Pikachu follows you around and has his own voice actor. And you can get all 3 starters throughout the game. And Jessie and James, best characters, appear in this game. Anyways. Yellow was also a little bit tougher than Red and Blue because the Pokemon gym leaders levels were a bit different. Yeah, it did ruin a lot of friendships, didn't it? So, also, Yeah, this is also the second part. Your rival in yellow isn't as mean, but he's still a jerk. Because when I play yellow, you'll see why he's still a jerk. Why he. Anyways. And Pikachu follows you around, and it's the only Pokemon that can follow you around in Gen 1, sadly. Also, Pikachu is the only one with friendship levels. In yellow is where friendship was introduced, which became a much bigger, broader thing in Gen 2. It's the only Pokemon in general that you can have a friendship level with in yellow. So, Pikachu is the mascot, as we all know, of the Pokemon series. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm reading comments while you're doing this. Yes. So, let me think. Also, did y'all know that Pikachu was not originally going to be the mascot? It was originally going to be Clefairy, which we can get into that another time. And Pikachu is one of the fastest Pokemon in the Gen 1 games. And speaking of fast, it's Cry in Red and Blue. Wait, never heard. Yeah. So, speaking of Pokemon cries, in Red and Blue, Pikachu's cry is the same as Bulbasaur's, just sped up. And then Blue/Gary, Mother Truck, and Oak. Gary, Oak, or Blue as he is referred to in the game, I don't know why I'm reading it like that, is the grandson of Professor Oak and is also your rival and childhood rival. Gary in the first three games would always choose the starter that was better against yours. So if you chose Bulbasaur, he chose Charmander. If you chose Charmander, he chose Squirtle. If you chose Squirtle, he chose Bulbasaur. And then in Yellow, you were supposed to get an Eevee. This mother trucker takes it from you. So you end up getting a wild Pikachu that's out of its mind. So, Gary Oak in Red and Blue. Like I said, he chooses the starter that is super effective against yours. And his team throughout the game will vary based on which starter you chose. Also, sad little fact, he has a Rattata that you face in Cerulean City, which is Eradicate, which is what Rattata evolves into. Yeah. I'm just reading the comments, sorry. But yes, so after the SSAM, which is a little boat that you get a ticket to, Eradicate don't appear no more. And it's theorized that you killed Gary's Eradicate in a battle, because it does not appear the rest of the game. Yeah, we need the freaks and weirdos to make games again. So, in Yellow, because Gary pushes you out of the way and takes the Eevee, which you were supposed to get, you get Pikachu instead. And Eevee evolves in Gen 3 to 3 different Pokemon. And what Gary's Eevee evolves into is based on certain events. The most common one for people who have played the game is Jolteon. Because if you win the first battle, and then a second optional battle, which most kids apparently did not know about, you get Jolteon. And if you win the first battle, but you skip over the optional battle, or you lose in that battle, you get Flareon. Rude. Wait. Makes me think. Slow once. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, we're not gonna think about that. And then if you lose the first battle, the very first battle in Professor Oak's laboratory, it evolves into Vaporeon. Which is more ideal if you end up keeping Pikachu. But it's not fun losing the first battle, because then your Pikachu absolutely hates you. Hello! Ah! Yes, so Pikachu will absolutely hate you if you lose the first battle. And then also, it doesn't matter if you skip, win, or lose the optional battle. If you lost the first one, you're getting Vaporeon no matter what. Hey, wait. What am I reading? It changes cocky to rocky, but not. What are we talking about? What is going on? I'm so glad you're back, Mangold. Yay. So, about Eevee. Eevee is a very special Pokemon that can evolve into 8 different types to date. But in Gen 1, it only evolves into 3, which is Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon. And it evolves into Vaporeon. You stop. I'm sorry. Knight, you stop. I will cut you. Anyways, so Eevee evolves into Vaporeon using a Water Stone, Jolteon using a Thunder Stone, and then Flareon using a Fire Stone. Which, as cuddly as Flareon is, I think it might be the worst evolution, but don't quote me on it. I have nothing against Flareon. Let me start by saying that. I love Flareon. I want to cuddle Flareon. But I hear it's not very great for battles. So, Team Rocket. Team Rocket is the villainous team of the Kanto region and the Gen 1 games, and technically Gen 2. It is led by Giovanni. Their ultimate goal is to take over the world using Pokemon. They steal and exploit Pokemon, particularly strong and rare Pokemon. They not only sell these Pokemon for profit, but also conduct cruel experiments on some as well. They've even killed Pokemon before. So, and these are the 8 gym leaders in Kanto. There is Brock, Misty, Lieutenant Surge, Erica, Koga, Sabrina, Blaine. People who know, keep your mouth shut. So, Brock is the first gym leader to appear in the Pokemon in Gen 1, and he appears in Pewter City. He is the gym leader of Pewter City. And he says he specializes in rock types, hence the name Brock. But all his Pokemon are dual rock and ground type, which is what's very common in Gen 1. Stop, it's great, I love it. Okay, so, when you beat Brock, he gives you the Boulder Badge. The Boulder Badge allows you to use Flash outside of battle, and it raises your Pokemon's your team's attack stat. And then Misty. Best girl for Ash. So, anyways. She is the second gym leader, and she is the gym leader of Cerulean City. She specializes in water types. And when you beat her, she gives you the Cascade Badge, which allows you to use HMO when cut outside of battle. And traded Pokemon up to level 30 will listen to you, no matter what. Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention. Without badges, if you trade Pokemon will not listen to you. I love Misty too. Yeah, I love Misty. In fact, my dog's name is Misty because I love her. Also, her name was Missy, and so I was like, okay, I'll just go with Misty then. So, Lieutenant Surge. This man is hella tall. If you look at the anime, this man is like 8 feet tall. How is that possible? I don't know, but the man is tall. So, he is the gym leader of Vermilion City, and he specializes in electric types. He gives you the Thunder Badge, which allows you to use Fly, which is arguably one of the most useful and important HMs in the game. Your team's defense stat will increase. And then there's Erica, which, actually, I didn't include this, but I'll get to it. So she's the gym leader of Celadon. She specializes in grass types. She gives you the rainbow badge. I love her too. Tell her I love her. So, when she gives you the rainbow badge, you can use strength outside of battle, and Pokemon up to level 50 will obey you no matter what. Now, if you look at her sprite, which is not in here, her sprite in at least red and blue, I don't know about yellow, the way her dress is set up, it's implied that she was going to be a ghost type, because the way her dress is like laid over is how they dress dead people. Onyx says nope, F you. Oh, rude. Don't say F you to Kyrie. That's rude. No. We're not. No. So, Helga is the gym leader of Fuchsia City. He's the 5th gym leader you face. He specializes in poison types. And he allows you to use Surf, which is in my opinion, the second most useful HM in all the games, really. But if you want to talk about battle, yeah, it's the most helpful. Fly and Surf are your best friends. They will get you anywhere and everywhere. And when you beat them, your team's speed stat will increase. I question ye. Why do you question ye? Then there's Sabrina. Sabrina is the gym leader of Saffron City and the 6th leader in the Kanto region. She specializes in psychic types, which were way overpowered in Gen 1. Like, there's a reason they made the dark type in Gen 2, because psychics were impossible to beat. So, she gives you the Marsh badge when you beat her in a gym battle. The Marsh badge allows Pokemon up to level 70 to obey you, no matter what. Then there's Blaine, who in Let's Go is probably my favorite character just because he cracks me up, because my sense of humor is good. He is the gym leader of Cinnabar Island, the 7th gym in the game. He specializes in fire types. And he gives you the Volcano badge, which raises your team's special stat. And then those who know, keep your mouth shut. We don't know who the 8th gym leader of Kanto is. We just know it's in Viridian City. Misty is best girl. Bald. Wait, Cynthia. Okay, wait, what is going on? I just saw something. No, Cynthia's better. Don't get me wrong, I love Sabrina, but Cynthia... I want to name my daughter Cynthia. Or at least one of my daughters Cynthia. So, there are many best girls in Pokemon. But of the gym leaders, yes. Not gym leaders. Champion Cynthia's best girl. Hands down. So, it is said that the 8th gym leader specializes in ground types, and when you beat them, they give you the Earth badge, which lets any Pokemon of any level listen to you. Okay, and then here's Kanto's Elite Four. So, there's a Lorelei, who specializes in ice, Bruno, who specializes in fighting, Professor Oak, not Professor Oak and Drag, Agatha, who specializes in ghosts, and then Lance, who specializes in dragons. So, yeah, people say Agatha looks like Professor Oak and Drag. I'm just gonna ruin that for you right now. So, there is no official champion in Kanto in this game. It is a fight between you and your rival to see who gets to be there first. Yeah, that's basically it. Okay.